Hello, everyone. Welcome to chapter 213 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind, this one titled 2026 Part 2. This is the second episode in my 2026 era in which I talk about what happened in 2025 and plan out 2026 in the shadows of war. Okay. I'm trying not to lose my cool, but I am under a huge amount of stress and anxiety, and I am low-key having not a major panic attack. I'll try not to think about it too much, but as I'm recording this right now, things are tense, very tense, and I don't know what will happen. Maybe the fact that I'm planning for the future is idiotic in retrospect. It always is idiotic in retrospect, but I kind of need to do it. My drink today is a carbonated drink, mixed berry. Last week I drank the mojito version of this. Now it's the mixed berry one. I like this much better than I like the mojito one. Well, I'm gonna start when I dropped off last week. Last week I was talking about my 2025 plans and the retrospective for 2025. As I said, there were 16 points on the retrospective and we got to number 12. So the last four before I can do the planning for 2026, which it itself has 10 points on it. I have a list. I have written a list. Number 13 was, in my 2025 retrospective, I started a diet and ate healthier for 5 months, which I did. It wasn't easy, but I did it, and then my dad got into the hospital, and I'm not gonna rehash everything. You should listen to the last episode and then bleed into this one. Basically, you have to listen to the last episode and then listen to this one, but my dad went to the hospital, and then the mental break was so hard I kind of dropped off, and that was around like 5 months ago. So I did it for 5 months and then didn't do it for 5 more months. I'm planning to getting back on it, but we will get to that again. It wasn't easy, as I said, but it wasn't as hard as the last attempts, and I did manage to lose some weight and I felt healthier, and then I didn't. So yeah. Number 14, first live TTRPG with Root RPG. So gaming is a whole other section of my life that I've talked about in myriads of ways in the last seasons of The Last Thought. But board games and video games are a huge part of my life. And video games itself played a whole role in 2025. I played more games in 2025 than I had in the last 5 years, I think. So, new games, I play a lot of Crusader Kings 3 and Age of Mythology, but I mean new games. Or just new old games, like I replayed Fallout 1 and I started replaying Fallout 2. I haven't finished my playthrough yet. But I never had done a live TTRPG. Most of my experience with them had been reading rule books for Vampire the Masquerade or D&D. I actually got Dracula's America, which is a war game, not a tabletop RPG, but I do need to read that as well. And 1 or 2 sessions of an online D&D campaign, which didn't go anywhere. We just did one fight and that was over. But this year, not this year, in this Iranian year, Persian calendar, but in 2025, I did my first TTRPG. It was Root RPG. It was very fun. We did a campaign. It was quite fun. We had fun. I want to do more. Then, number 15, Muhammad Amin's wedding. My friend got married, and he's not my first friend to get married, but it was the first wedding I've been in like half a decade or more. Yeah, the last one was before the pandemic. God damn. So he is a close friend. We've done lots of things together, and yeah, it was a nice wedding. My friend got married, and yeah, that's number 15. Number 16, first friend travel to Tabriz organized by me. So I am not very good at organizing trips or anything, to be honest. I'm not a natural leader, let's say it that way. I'm more of a follower. And I have gone to friend trips with my friends where they sort of said, like, "Do you want to come?" And I'd gone. Not that much, but enough. But this past year, literally a year ago, because I think it was around this time when we. Oh no, it was a month, like 13 months ago. We went to Tabriz. I organized it. I think people had fun. I mean, we have a lot of memories. We talk about it a lot, but it was fun. We went there when nobody would in the dead of winter, and it was fun. It was the first trip that I organized, and the fact that it was 13 months ago shows you probably not a lot of people want me to organize trips anymore. But yeah, this was the 2025 retrospective. That was the list of everything that happened in 2025. Every major thing. There were lots of little things that happened that I don't really want to like talk about because they weren't big enough or they weren't massive enough. Like I got rejected by for my Canada visa, that sort of things. But yeah, these were the major things that did happen. But now we need to plan for the coming year and don't feel bad when we can't do what we planned. Anyways, I know. But yeah, let's talk about the 2026 plan. As I said, it's a 10-point list. I will tell you a general idea what I'm thinking for each one, but there is a chance I can't go too deep because some of it is up in the air, and hopefully, okay, let's see what will happen. Let's just start. I don't want to overthink it. I'm trying to get rid of my brain at this point. Number 1, finishing The Dawn Rises and submitting for all festivals. Now, this is what should have happened last year. A myriad of reasons kind of postponed it. Most of it I didn't. I talked about it in the last week's episode. But this year, I am really hopeful that it can be done. Like, I can finally finish this movie and then start submitting it anywhere that accepts it. Now, if this happens, this will be my biggest movie to date, but I also want to do a lot of smaller movies, which we will get to. But yeah, that's the first one. Finishing this project that at this point have been going on for 2 years. It's a lot, and it's a 40-minute movie. It shouldn't have taken this long, but I didn't follow up on a lot of things, and a lot of things got delayed. There was a war, so, there might be another one. But I don't want to think about that. Number 2, getting out of mandatory conscription. This is a major one. If this happens this year, I am happy looking back at it because this is a major pressure point. For those of you unaware, Iran has a mandatory conscription law in which if you are not currently in university or doing any other sort of things, you have to do a 2-year mandatory conscription, mandatory military service. I don't want to do that, not because it is a toxic, traumatic experience to be inside of that, especially nowadays. It also is 2 years of your life completely gone because during that time you can't work anywhere, you can't do anything, and you can't leave the country. Well, all 3 things are bad. Now, there are ways of getting out of it. One of them is, as I said, a study. But if you remember from last week, I was fired from university. Now, my firing letter? That's not right. The letter informing that I am actually fired from university hasn't arrived yet. So my countdown for conscription hasn't started yet. But at the same time, I kind of need that because there are other ways to do it. For example, I can say that my father needs help, which he does, and that way I can get a card telling people that I am at a time of peace. I don't need the conscription. That's for the time of peace. So yeah, that is number 2. If that happens, I will be very happy. Like, that is a big one. Number 3, put down a time frame and a plan to leave Iran. Now, usually I say that as leaving Iran, but I am being kind of realistic in that because of the mandatory conscription, I cannot even physically leave Iran. I even can't go to the countries where I have had visas. One of them got expired because of this, and that's a whole other headache that I don't want to get into. But I need to put down a time frame. I need to start up applications and try to find a way of leaving Iran. But I don't think I can leave in 2026. I don't know. I don't know what will happen. That's the nature of life. But I need to put down a time frame and plan everything out. Number 4, getting my actual IELTS. This is aspirational. As I said, it's getting very expensive to the point that it might actually be a massive hindrance to me actually getting it. But at the same time, if I want to leave Iran, I need to get it. We have to see what will happen. Maybe there are other alternatives that are cheaper that I can get instead of the IELTS. But I should have done this 2 years ago. Then it would have expired right now because that has a 2-year expiration date. Number 5, health. Okay. Number 1, diet. That has a bunch of subsections. Diet, again. I need to go back on the diet. The diet wasn't hard. I was just under a lot of mental pressure for the last 5 months. And I know things are going to get worse, but I need to get back on some of it. Like, not fully getting back on it, but like plan out things. I don't have to eat the way I do. I need to have more exercises, just ease myself back into the diet again. And number 2, skin and digestive progress. My skin is a mess. I've talked about it for a number of times on this show. And this year, I had a lot of digestive problems. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but those 2 things need to get better. Number 3, therapy. I put that down every year. And every year I don't do it, mostly because of the cost. Not going to lie, the cost is a massive problem. Second, because I feel like if I do actually figure out what's wrong with me, I'd die. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do. Number 6, keep on with audio-visual projects. Now, I do have some projects. I wanted to do things, but I haven't. For example, I didn't make a video in 2025. I really wanted to, but I couldn't. And then the war happened and the summer of hell. And right now, I've been wondering if I should start working on my After Nowruz video, the one I make about Iranian cinema. I have a plan. I even have half a script written, but when I want to write it and I want to do it, there's a voice in the back of my head saying, you don't know what's going to happen. You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel sorry. Stop it. And it sucks. I want to do more, but I can't get out of my brain. And I know that's what therapy can help with. Maybe that's an argument for it. But keep on with audio and visual project like The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind, TGTBTI, The Good, The Bad, and The Interesting, which is my YouTube show. I wouldn't say visual show because audio is the last thoughts, visual is that. And then do more guessing and collabs, which right now feels like wishful thinking. Hopefully not. Number 7, new projects. Now, this is the big thing which I really wanted to do, is making short, inexpensive movies. The Dawn Rises has been going on for 2 years. And at the same time, I feel like I've rusted out my creative muscles. Because I haven't done anything, I feel like, things are getting, starting new things is becoming too overwhelming. Like someone who hasn't exercised for a while and then suddenly needs to run a course. Yeah, of course, it's going to feel really bad because your muscles aren't ready. And I feel like my creative muscles are rusted, and I need to de-rust them by doing like short, inexpensive movies where I don't have to pay anything for equipment, making it with my own equipment that I do have, and also making it with friends, and they're short, like 5 minutes at most. But yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to do before things got out of hand. Then there is the musical podcast. I do want to make a musical podcast with one of my friends. Again, wishful thinking, we'll see what happens. A video games podcast, another idea my friend had, in which he would introduce me to a game and I play it in a month, and then we do a podcast and record it. Whether or not that will happen or not, I said not twice. Whether or not that will happen is, again, up to the forces beyond my control. Number 8, write more. That is always the goal. I am a writer who doesn't write, and the irony isn't lost on me. I need to write more fiction, which means the novel that I talked about in the last week's episode, where I started in October of 2025. I need to write a script. I have written a treatment for the first time in the longest time, and I want to make it into a script. It's been a while. It's a spec script. Like, I don't have any plans to actually make it, but I do want to make it. A bunch of short stories and revisions on a script that I had written a while ago. That one, I feel like, is a spec script that I can shop around and find people to actually make it if I'm alive. But yeah. Then I need to write more non-fiction, which is my thesis, which I haven't written yet for a myriad of reasons. One of which is I'm fired from uni, but I need to get back to uni, so that also needs to happen pretty soon. And then a book that I need to write with my friend if, again, life doesn't end. Number 9, work on a few things. 1, better audio and editing. I've talked about this before. I am not happy with my editing style. I think it's very rudimentary. And sorry about that. And I feel like I can do better. Now, this last year, I did my first ever color correction, and I feel like my work on audio has gotten a little bit better. I did some audio mixing in very big air quotes for my friend. And I feel like I need to watch some courses or maybe some tutorials and get better on that. Editing also needs to get better. Most of my editing problems are laziness. I need to actually do more, like transitions, work more on my editing in general. Work on board game / video game. My board game, the idea that I have is one called Pygmalion. There's actually an episode about this on season 13, I think. I should have written that down. Why didn't I write it down? I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you the name of the number of the episode. Chapter 184. God damn, more than like 20 chapters ago was Pygmalion, in which I talked about my board game idea. And I have an idea for a video game. I have downloaded Game Maker, and when's my publication date, but I have an idea for that, which I think could be something interesting. And work on crafting projects. I want to craft more stuff. I have a list of things that I actually asked my friend which one should I craft. I need to do a few gift crafts for my parents and some other people, but yeah, that's some. And number 10, be better in social situation. Now, last year it was be a better friend. I don't know if I was a better friend, but I knew I am not very well in social situation. I have social anxiety, and at the same time, I don't have any filters, which is not a good combination because I say things and then I spend the next month thinking about it. So I need to be better in that. With that goes the plans for 2026. Whether or not it will happen, we'll see. But I will see you if everything doesn't go up in flames next week.